Hello, I'm coming on with a very different subject for my video today, and it's one that I've not shared publicly on here, but I wanted to talk about why I started the tarot channel when I did. And it's because I've been asked to share something about my recovery from chronic fatigue syndrome, and I thought what better place to start than to explain one of the things that actually helped me to recover. So if you're new to my channel, hello, I'm Jenny and I run Down to Earth Wellbeing. I'm an emotion code practitioner and meditation teacher. And that in itself has come from as a result of me having chronic fatigue syndrome. So anyway, today is to talk about the tarot. So the reason I started my tarot channel is because when I was first diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome, I was pretty much bedbound, and that was for a period of about 4 months. I say bedbound, I managed to get out of bed, get the kids ready for school, get them to school, but that was as much as I could manage at that time. And I was just wiped out for the rest of the day until I picked them up, fed them, and then I didn't go back to bed, but I couldn't get off the sofa. So we pretty much just, I'll tell you what we did, we lived off box sets of Simpsons for a little bit of time. But yeah, the tarot. So during that time, I was bored shitless. I didn't have enough energy to get stuck into anything proper. Watching TV is just something I don't do, and the noise and the visuals of it would like too stimulating for my nervous system at that time. And I couldn't read. Like, I could physically read the words, but none of it was going into my brain. So one of the biggest symptoms for me with chronic fatigue was the lack of any sort of cognitive ability. And that's really hard because I'm normally, I love to learn new things, I love to read, I love to just be involved in life, really. Don't we all? But I just couldn't do it. And it was then that I remembered about my tarot deck. And I thought, you know what, if I just, I think I actually picked up the tarot cards to ask it the question, will I ever get better? Because when you're in the throes of chronic fatigue syndrome, you honestly feel like nothing is ever going to get better. Like this is how it is for the rest of your life. And that comes with a lot of hopelessness, and it wasn't something I was willing to deal with at that point. I could not live with a lack of hope. So I got out the tarot cards and started asking the question, will I ever get better? And I started asking it like yes and no questions, like, would this thing help me to get better? And it wasn't necessarily giving me all the right answers, but it did help me to tap into my own intuition, because as I was reading the cards and interpreting them in certain ways, I was really getting a feel for whether something felt right for me, whether it didn't. And at that point I was very much learning still about what all the different cards meant and what they meant in relationship to each other. And that was quite taxing. So at first I was only sort of drawing one card, and I built up enough cognitive ability to be able to draw 2 cards and make meaning from it, and then 3. And I realised that, and I was writing down what I was thinking as well, and what the cards meant to me as I was pulling them out, so that I could reflect back on it. And what I realised is that my cognitive ability was improving day by day by doing that. It was just something to relieve the boredom as much as anything else as well. But yeah, that was taking up sort of like 10-15 minutes of my day doing that, and it was enough. But I gradually got more and more confident with it, and I noticed that I was starting to be able to do other things as well, like reading was starting to get a bit better, and those sort of things. And I don't even know where I got the inspiration to share it on YouTube. I honestly don't know. But whatever sparked that, I'm so glad that it did, because it gave me a purpose. I felt like actually these insights that I'm getting I could share these and it might help somebody else who's going through something similar. Not that I thought that anybody who was watching would be dealing with chronic fatigue syndrome, but the messages that were coming through could have been, they're like any tarot reading app, they can be interpreted in so many different ways by the viewer, by the listener. So I started recording them. That was, I remember after I'd recorded my first one and tried to download YouTube Studio app on my phone, I didn't actually get to the point of uploading it because I had burned myself out just figuring out how to record it and downloading the app. And then the next stage was then putting it on, you know, so I did that a few days later when I'd recovered from that particular bit of burnout. And again, same thing, anything tech-based really did wear me out and still does. I will say that now. I am a little bit of a technophobe. I'm just not very confident with it. So anyway, all of these little things, and the more I was recording then, the more it was buoying me up. It was giving me a little bit of hope. And then when people started viewing and started subscribing and leaving comments, again, it was just little nudges to my nervous system that this is a safe thing to be doing. It is something you can do. It's not, you know, you don't need to let it drain your nervous system. It's safe to be doing it, because that's what my chronic fatigue came as a result of my nervous system just being totally overwhelmed by stress. So, you know, when you're in it, any little thing trips you back into that burnout because it's your body just going, nope, I can't deal with that. So it really is about just gradually building it up. So yeah, I just thought I'd come on and share that today, just randomly. But if this is something that you're going through or any kind of other sort of burnout, I'd really like to know if this has been helpful today. And if so, if you'd like to know more about how I've recovered, because I would say I'm about 95% of the way there now. There's still just a little bit niggling, I will admit that. But yeah, if anybody wants to know the other sort of techniques and things that I've used in my own recovery, because it has very much been like just figuring things out as I've gone along, just pop it in the comments below. And also, if anyone else has experienced anything like this, you know, any other advice that you've got for anybody else who might be listening and resonating with this, pop that in the comments below as well. Because I think at the end of the day, as much as we can support each other in these things, it just helps, doesn't it? Yeah. So anyway, thank you very much for letting me share that today, and I shall see you again soon. Bye-bye.